What's up, everyone? Hope you guys are having a great day. And whatever day this is, you might be listening, whether it's a Monday, Tuesday, or weekend, it doesn't really matter. Welcome to the TECspertZ podcast. And for your starting lineup tonight, you have two dudes and a cubicle. That's right.
You may have heard of Two Chicks in an Office by Barstool presents them, but we're doing something so original, two dudes in a cubicle, because you see, the difference between us is we're two dudes. And we're in a cubicle.
That's
it's
a pretty big difference.
Crazy. I know.
I mean,
I know we had to give a play-by-play on how that works.
We didn't get that idea from them. This is a completely original idea.
So original.
So just to introduce ourselves, I'm Robert Romero, and this is...
I'm Chase Carroll. I am the sports editor at the East Carolinian, and
And I'm the sports news director at WZMB 91.3, and this is going to be your soon-to-be favorite duo on TECspertZ. And just to give a quick idea of what TECspertZ is, TECspertZ is a podcast consists of three separate duos. I'm not going to introduce them; they'll come in and introduce themselves. But basically, they're going to come in and we're going to talk all about ECU sports, football in particular, because that's what's going on right now. And
did we start the football season?
Yeah, we did. I like to forget it, but unfortunately, that's how we started. And they're all within the student media, within the East Carolina or WZMB. So we're going to go from there. So
I say we get right into this.
Yeah, let's get right into it. So there we go.
Let's discuss Scotty Montgomery and his job status here at ECU.
What job status? The one that if he doesn't win this weekend, he's going to be gone?
If he doesn't win this weekend, it's going to be real tough to keep him around. But let's first discuss this past game against North Carolina.
Go ahead. I can't even bother to talk about it right now. Go on.
So obviously we lost the game. That's
No. We didn't lose. We gave up the game and we were embarrassed. Okay, they came in and they didn't shake our hands in the coin flip, and then instead of that firing us up, we gave it right back to them. All right, you want to go ahead and read some stats and first off, we might have lost, but we shouldn't really have lost this game at all. Read the stats that you think.
The deal is ECU led in nearly every single statistical category that you can name, and to come away with a loss after that is really. It's ridiculous, but let's get into this.
Go ahead.
Total first downs. ECU had 13 more first downs than
13, 28 to 15.
28 to 15. Passing yards. We were airing the ball out. 314 yards on the day. Mm-hmm. Only 187.
Right.
For NCAA.
Yeah, for the Aggies. Go on.
So in total offense, 382 yards to 269.
We do that. I want you to read the penalties and how undisciplined they were. All those cheap sportsmanlike conduct plays.
It's funny how, despite us leading in all these offensive statistical categories, and here are the penalty yardage. NCAA had 14 penalties. They lost 113 yards off of that.
9 more penalties.
It's almost unthinkable to win with that kind of penalty yardage.
To be honest, that's what happens when you're terrible in the red zone. And that's what happens when you give a 100-yard pick six to up the middle to 4 Aggie defenders when you have two wide open receivers on each side to throw to.
Let's get into Reed Herring.
Go on.
So, what are your original? What do you feel about Reed Herring's first performance?
I thought he was pretty good. He impressed me for his first ever start. I thought he was comfortable. He found Trayvon Brown in the beginning because he's their best receiver, number one receiver. So he obviously wanted to feel comfortable throwing to guys. And the receiving corps did a great job showing up for him. Each of them had at least 50 yards each for the game. But towards the end, when the pressure started coming and he started getting hit, I mean, his offensive line did a terrible job, especially down the stretch. But that made him a bit uncomfortable, and he made some really questionable decisions.
He's thrown across his body a few times, and that cost him. Mm-hmm. He threw the ball 65 times on Saturday, and it's difficult to come away error-free.
He got
throwing
tired
65 times.
He got tired toward the end.
He went 37 for 65, 309 yards, 2 touchdowns, which is good, and 2 back-breaking interceptions.
Exactly.
Which really, I'd say,
the interception at the end was just the play, but the play in the first half was just brutal.
That was a crusher.
You were within the 10-yard line to get in the end zone to go up 10-0, and then all of a sudden you're down. Throw the Franklin McCain, and then he drives at 100+ yards to the other end zone, and now you're down 4.
Yeah. Well, let's get into that red zone, the red zone stats. Five for 7 is what the stat sheets will say.
Yeah,
but that's not the real case here. 1 pick 6, a fumble inside the 5-yard line, and 3 field goals. Or what you got? Only 2 touchdowns in 7.
All their field goals were only were 20-yard field goals. So good job to kicker. I mean, they made the field goals. Jake Verdi, he did great.
He did his job.
He did his job, but he could have kicked them out further. But
ECU special teams has struggled over the years, and that's something that 3 20-yarders. He did his job. He didn't miss.
Good for him. But I mean, like, you have to score in those situations. You have to capitalize.
Nothing
because
on him.
You can't host another FCS opponent and then lose again after what happened last year on losing. I know they were the FCS champions last year, James Madison, but the Aggies, I know they won 12 straight, and they started off the year against Jacksonville State, their first win of the year. But they can't come in. You can't pay them to come play with you and then watch them beat them. You can't pay them and give them the win at the same time. That's not how it works.
Give them money to whoop us. That is hilarious.
We don't need to give them any money.
Not only did they disrespect us before the game by not shaking our hands, we paid them to do it.
Exactly.
And then beat us.
That just shows how low this program has gone. It really has come to a point where it's embarrassing. And it can get even, believe it or not, it can get even lower this weekend.
Oh, it can, UNC. And that's why in this battle between 2 head coaches, Larry Fedora and Scotty Montgomery, both on the hot seat, both coming off 3-9 seasons and season-opening losses.
Well, I think the worst part about it is UNC is not really even a football school. It's not. This is what
ECU's. We are.
This
football.
is their bread and butter. It's football.
Yes.
Is ECU.
It's turning into baseball, apparently.
Yeah, it is.
If it keeps going in this direction, it's gonna be a baseball
baseball and
school.
Women's sports.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I mean, they're doing good. They're actually watchable. And football is just that obviously going to bring everybody in. But like, if you don't want to watch, to be honest, garbage on the field, then you shouldn't be watching this game.
Let's get into a couple more reasons why this game went so poorly. Let's talk about the run game, or let's say the lack of a running game. No run game.
No running game. You want to look at the combined carries and yardage?
Yeah, let's talk about our top 2 running backs from last week. The depth chart has changed since then because of this, but Anthony Scott, Senior, coming off a year ineligible due to grades, and obviously you expect some rust from there, but 12 carries for 34 yards, 2.8 yards per carry. As a starting running back, it's not going to get it done. And it's not all on him. The holes weren't there, but he wasn't making really anyone miss. He wasn't doing anything spectacular out there to really make a play. And, I mean, it is what it is. That's the first game back. At least you need to have a backup running back who can come in if the starter isn't doing well and produce. And backup running back Trace Christian last week, he was the number 2. He went 10 carries for 20 yards. That's 2 yards per carry, including a fumble in the red zone inside the 10-yard line.
Inside the 10, exactly.
Killer.
We just had back-breaking plays the whole game.
He doesn't fumble that ball. That's a 7-point difference.
Every time we gained momentum in every way, we just gave it back.
They shot themselves in the foot.
Exactly.
Multiple times. And that's something that we've seen over the last 3 seasons under Scotty Montgomery.
And that's exactly why his job is in huge jeopardy, is because you put yourself in position to come in with these games, but you don't show the poise, the discipline in these situations to capitalize and get the wins that you need. This is like, you think if they don't win this Saturday, and you thought they were going to win against the Aggies, but that didn't happen. Like, if they don't win this Saturday, who are they going to beat the rest of the year?
That's the question. They need to come out and save their season here. It starts now. You can't wait till week 3 they play Virginia Tech. Week 4 they play
UCF.
USF.
Oh, USF, sorry.
Either one. Doesn't matter which one that is.
But they're both away games, so like you automatically assume they're not going to come away with that.
No. They're both superior teams, let's be honest, especially from what we saw week 1. And I'm kind of tired already about talking about the awful thing. Let's start talking about a little bit of... We saw improvement with the defense, and obviously we see... Year in and year out, East Carolina receivers.
I mean, their best player was Nate Harvey. Really showed up because he was a playmaker. 8 solo tackles. I mean, he was really trying to get
4 in the backfield.
Yeah, he was
4 tackles for loss. That's I believe top 5 in the. I mean, we're 1 week in, but he's top 5 in the country in tackles for loss.
That's good to see.
Which is something we have not had here.
No.
Someone who can get in the backfield and disrupt really anything. We haven't had a pass rusher, anyone who could disrupt the backfield Nothing.
It was good to see that
And
we
it was
had
good
that,
to see-
especially on the defensive end, because we need those
1
defensive guys
week,
who are
so
playmakers.
I'm not going to go too much into that, but
No, but
it's good to see someone who has the ability.
I think it really shows David Blackwell's like improvement, because like that's the kind of stuff that Jacksonville State ran when they played against them the week 1 against the Aggies. They had the same kind of offense, even though he wasn't there. That's what they've made them the force in FCS for top 5, top 10 for the last 4 or 5 years.
Right.
So you really saw that.
So slightly improved defense. We saw them get 2 big
Well,
stops at the
you want
end.
to talk about the defensive line or the secondary defense? Because the
We
secondary was
can
not necessarily.
We can discuss the secondary
Okay,
a
I'm
little
just saying.
later.
Defense,
I think we'll get into that.
there's only a part of the defense
I
that
will
was
say
exceptional.
they came up with 2 big stops at the end, which is something I don't think we would have seen the last couple of years. The offense just couldn't get it done at the end with terrible just clock management.
I
Terrible clock
agree with
management at
that,
the end of
and
the
like
game.
that catch Anthony Scott made when he was running out, he should have definitely had like 15, 20 yards to go out, at least to get out of bounds, stop the clock with at least just under 20 seconds left. He fell on the ball.
You gotta be more aware.
And he's just and then he told the press conference he didn't regret catching because he thought he had a first down. That's what he said, and that confused me. But I don't know if that he was just wanted to get out. But I mean, what can you say?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is at this point. We gotta. It's hard to say move past that point because
it's really hard because it's just going to be in the
back of their heads.
This is how we started the season. This bad taste is going to be out throughout the whole year because like that was the most winnable game of the season. That was a game we expected to win and hopefully start this year off on a good note.
To do it.
Exactly.
It's a fact. It doesn't matter if you have the opportunity to do it. You have to do it. And Coach Mo, all the players love Coach Mo, and that's you can't deny that. You can see it. The players love playing for Coach Mo. He is a good recruiter. He's getting players to commit to East Carolina. But at the end of the day, you go 3-9, 2 consecutive seasons, and start with yet another FCS loss. It's difficult to keep your job like that.
It is.
It's like as much as anyone can advocate for how much they love you.
Mm-hmm.
The fans are what pay the
exactly.
bills here.
It doesn't matter. I mean, you can talk about how much they love all the guys who have gotten fired over the years just because they have great locker room chemistry. But the bottom line is they can't get it done. Other than Marvin Lewis, I don't know how he still has his job. But
that's a mystery. He's got something on the. He's got pictures of the owner or something. He doesn't want getting out.
That's an organizational problem.
That's for another day.
Yeah.
That conversation. We got into the things that we disliked again pretty quickly. Let's get back into some things we liked. We saw
the
really good
core.
depth from the receiving core. We saw Terrell Green with 10 catches, 85 yards to lead the Pirates. Blake Prohl in his first collegiate game, redshirt freshman.
He's very impressive.
Coming off a significant knee injury. That's something that's hard to get. You're used to the high school game coming in. You don't get any reps your freshman year as you redshirt. He was explosive.
He was very explosive, and I was very impressed with what I saw.
He had 9 catches, 65 yards, in his first career touchdown, and I was impressed with what I saw with him. And obviously, we know what Trevon Brown brings to the table. He had
I thought Ferrier was
strong
good
start.
too.
Yeah, both of them had good games. DeAndre Ferrier, 5 catches, 57 yards, and a touchdown. Trevon Brown, we know coming in how important he is to this team. He had 7 catches, 57 yards, which we saw them feeding him real early, and then they kind of backed away from that. They didn't force it to him as much as they did to start, and I believe that they should have.
Yeah, I definitely think so, because that's how Reed Aaron was trying to get comfortable, is trying to find his open guys, because that definitely helped him, the fact that he saw so many options out there, and I think that really made him comfortable until the point
where... He's got a lot of targets.
Yeah, he does, and that's going to hopefully build his confidence throughout the year with him learning to be a leader as his quarterback, because that just comes naturally with the position.
But at the end of the day, 65 passes, there's lots of targets, and that's why he threw 65 times. And the running numbers advocate.
But you have to have a balanced attack.
Why you have to pass 65 times? You got to be balanced.
Yeah, you have to be, because Reed can't keep doing this every single game, and especially he just played against NCAA. Imagine we go against Virginia Tech, USF, and then the rest of the American Conference. It's just you can't be relying on to throw 60 to 70 times every game. You have to have a balanced attack with the running game. Hopefully your defense can force more turnovers, and the special teams can actually get stuff done. But I mean, that's what needs to happen if ECU wants to redeem themselves this year, or at least give ECU hope that they're going into some sort of direction. We don't know where they're going now. They're going up, bottom, left, right. I don't know, but they need to. We need to know where they're going.
It's frustrating to think about, but I think ECU is going to come out. They need to play for their coach, but so does UNC's players. So it's whoever really cares, who wants to win for their coach the most.
Well, that will be, but then it comes to a
also
point
a battle of coaching.
Is it inevitable that Coach Mo would be gone? Because I mean, like, other than UNC, it's like, okay, he saved the job for at least one more week, and then like with Virginia
I don't
Tech
even know if firing him mid-season's in discussion or not. But if he wants to save his job even beyond now, yeah, he needs to win this game just to start.
Yeah, just to start.
Him winning this game, first off, doesn't save his job beyond this year by any means.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. UNC's a bad team, and you got to beat bad teams to keep your job.
Exactly.
And so far, he's kind of shown he can't do that. He's beaten the really bad teams that he's supposed to, the UConns, the Cincinnati last year. He hasn't beat either of the FCS teams he's faced.
That's not impressive.
No,
I mean, even when Ruffin he 5-7 this last year, he still beat Virginia Tech at home, and that wasn't a very exciting win. So like, you at least had moments when you can say this was okay, and this was like, okay, we can build on something.
You see, Scotty came in with a big win to start his not to start his ECU career, second game of his coaching career against NC State, and we came out and we looked good.
Yeah, we looked really good. Yeah.
Pirate Nation was fully supportive of Scotty Montgomery.
Like, wow, this is
2 games and how quickly that changed. You know, people still had hope heading into their last season, I believe, and that seems to have dwindled to very few amount of people, if any, at this point. You know, I'm sure he has his supporters, and he's a great guy. He's well spoken. Like I said, the players love him.
I mean, that's what it is. It's just
at the end of the day, you gotta produce.
He's definitely a player's coach.
He's a player's coach.
But like,
maybe we need someone who's not a player. Well, Ruffin McNeil was successful as a player's coach.
Well, it all depends. You have to have the right traits. You have to know how to connect with your players and how to show discipline at the same time. I feel like in the way this past he has, in a way, but at the same time, in the situations where it matters most, the players don't know what to do. They look like a deer in headlights. And when it comes to situations like, okay, now we have to get a stop now. We need a score now. We need at least a touchdown. We need to force a turnover. They just cannot get it done. And that's been the theme these last 2 seasons, and it's looking like it's to be the same here.
I'll say last couple seasons probably had the excuse, okay, this isn't my team. This is a young squad that I haven't really brought in any of the players. I'm talking about Scotty Montgomery. But at this point, most of these guys are his guys that he brought in. He's coached them up for multiple years, even if they aren't his guys. He's gained the support of these guys. Why can't they build that and put it on the field? Is it the
big question.
Lack of talent? Is it coaching? What is it? That's something that they need to figure out.
It's just,
and I don't think it's a lack of talent, personally.
I don't think so either.
I think there's talent on this roster.
It's hard. It's just, I think it's more of a mindset. It's just not really a winning mindset. We just haven't had that in a long time. I think you just forget how to win. And that's what it comes down to. You can play a game for fun, but if you don't play to win, you're not going to be able to gain the traits on how to do it. I mean, we have all these nice facilities that are being built to bring players in. And like, look at our nice locker room.
Adding
look at this.
On to the stadium, which we can talk about that at another time.
We can't, but listen, you can't. They can't look at their. This was our record last year. That's not a selling point to bring recruiters in. So they're coming into a losing program, at least recently, and they don't know. They don't pick up they don't feel the vibe of winning. It's not like the vibe is it's like off a bit. I'm sure if you walked into Alabama without playing a game, you would be like, I know what it feels like to win. I know ECUs could never be Alabama. I'm just basically saying like that's the difference.
No, but that's
of a winning culture.
What you have to emulate. Like, no, we're never going to be Alabama, but we're trying to build a stadium similar. We have facilities, not
we
Alabama
want to be in contention
facilities.
in our conference at least.
We have some of the best facilities in the American Conference.
Absolutely.
There's no reason we shouldn't be. We've seen success early on in the American Conference, and all of a sudden,
it's like gone. Right now, like it doesn't matter how nice the facilities are. Would you rather play here? Or would you rather play in USF or UCF? I mean, just like pick one. I mean, do you want to care about the winning, or you just want the nice shiny objects?
We need the winning atmosphere back for sure.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the game again. Let's get back into it. let's talk about the switch at quarterback that really kind of set the whole thing in motion for NC.
Well, what from what you saw? What was his impact when he came in? He threw 2 touchdowns, 7 and 9s. QBR was off the roof.
He's a bigger quarterback. Khalil Carter came in for Lamar Raynard. Lamar Raynard, he started the game not very impressive.
It wasn't impressive.
50% completion percentage, 10 for 20, 94 yards and a touchdown. They were going 3 and out. He was average at best. Yes, yeah. I believe he
made a
missed
couple
on
of nice
his
plays,
first 7 throws. I believe. So he started picking it up, but it was really when Khalil Carter came in that it really changed. He went 7 for 9, 93 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I mean, that was huge because he really took command. Like Lamar looked like he was struggling, taking command of what he wanted to do, whether he wanted to run, because he's an athletic quarterback. So like he looked more indecisive on what plays he should run and what he should do. But like Khalil Carter came in and he really set the tone. He knew what he was going to do. He knew we were down. ECU was still up, but they were down. And then he said, "Okay, it's our time to take over," and that's what they did.
What I think a big part of this was the ECU defense was likely studying up, obviously, on Lamar Raynard the whole time. They get thrown. Khalil Carter gets thrown out there mid-game. They don't have anything on him. I doubt that they watched tape on Khalil Carter heading into this game. They don't really know what he's capable of. He comes in.
They saw firsthand.
He showed his arm talent. He showed his ability to get it up there in the red zone. Something Reed Herring struggled with, but that was the game changer.
That was just the difference right there, and you can see. And I think the biggest difference was Zachary Leslie of the receiver only because he basically made like when a mosquito gets on you. All right, imagine Kobe Gore's mosquito, and I just go like, that was basically Leslie to Gore on just 2 plays.
2 plays. He had 2 catches, but
2 receptions.
When they're both touchdowns, and they were both very nice touchdowns. Both of them. One of them was a moss over Kobe Gore.
That was. Mm-hmm.
One of them was a nice one-handed grab in the corner of the end zone.
Like, this kid,
they're both top 10 caliber plays.
This kid looks like Randy Moss with Gore covering him.
And that's the position that I'm not. We talked about kind of the pass rush we had. Let's discuss these corners that we had.
But the thing is, Lamar wasn't good on the pass either. I feel like it was more NCNT not really getting, because they didn't have a reception until the second quarter, but because they were more running the ball with Cartwright, and we did a good job against him. But once Carter came in and really started like having the mentality to pass and knew what routes the receivers were running, he was more decisive in his playmaking.
There was just one corner out there that actually caught my eye playing well, and that's Michael Witherspoon, first game from Hutchinson Community College. And he had 5 solo tackles. One of them was for a loss. And he had a solid pass breakup, which not many corners on our team the last couple of years have had many pass breakups. That's
been a huge disadvantage at the secondary corner position.
Yeah, the secondary has been, I believe, our Achilles. Well, I'll say the pass rush has been an Achilles heel.
Our defense has been the Achilles heel. Our defense in general has been the worst thing about this thing, about ECU football.
And it's funny how I think first game that kind of switched a little bit. At first the offense was really kicking.
It was good. It's just those plays. That was the worst part. Like, defense looks good. The offense overall looks good, but we just blew the game. There's no other way to go around it. We just blew the game. We embarrassed ourselves. That the rain delay the night before. Forget it was on Sunday. So Saturday they went through the whole pregame motion. They're ready to play, and then the next day they just gave it up.
Yeah,
so.
they gave it up, but we live
so
another week. Do you want to get into next week's predictions?
I will go first, and I will say I do think ECU is going to win this game.
Wow,
I really do, because UNC is a very bad football team. Even though they will play for a coach, football is not their school of pride. It's basketball. It's a basketball college all the way. So their thing is just like, okay, it's fun to go to a football game every now and then. ECU, this is not just playing for the Scotty. It's not just playing for playing for a win. It's playing for the culture. You're gonna lose to UNC on a game
Were
after
they
being
playing-
embarrassed against A&T. It's just
They didn't play for the culture last
they
year.
did. Well, they tried.
Don't lose to an FCS team. I guess that's not part of the culture.
It isn't, but this is you need to start somewhere. And since if they're gonna keep failing, at least pick up somewhere. Just rub something off. Get some.
Give me a score prediction.
I'll give you. I'm hoping the offense capitalizes on the plays. They're gonna have a lot more opportunities like they did last week. So I'm gonna go with 45 to 28.
Wow. We're going to put up 45
I
points
do think
and
I
win?
think we can score 45 against their defense.
Okay. Wow. That's a bold prediction. I'd have to
And
say.
their offense is terrible, but I think our defense might give up those bad plays.
Personally, I have UNC winning this game, and it's as much as you say the culture. I've seen enough of Scotty Montgomery's culture to know what exactly I had hope going into last week.
And by the way, before this podcast started, I'm the one who picked A&T to win, and he picked ECU.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm not making
the
that
other way.
mistake again. Maybe you're just the one who's always correct, and I'm wrong.
We'll find out.
I hope you're right. I am not here wanting ECU to lose by any means. But at the end of the day, I'm giving my predictions. I got UNC winning 31-27, and that's. I think we can beat them statistically. Can we make the play when we need to? The defense, as well as they played much better. They didn't really make any plays. They didn't force any turnovers, and that's something we haven't done for 3 seasons. And until I see that, I can't choose them.
All right. Well, we will see after Saturday, won't we?
I guess so.
We'll go. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to this first edition of TECspertZ. 2 dudes in a cubicle. Hope that rings to you and that becomes a household name someday. But either way, we're signing off. Thank you for joining in, and we'll have our reactions next week and how the game goes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.